Shalom to the elect of Israel, to the hopeful elect of Israel. You Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians. Got to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahawah, BaHa, YAHAWASHI. The Most High, the Heavenly Father. His Hebrew name is Yahawah. Not Yahweh, not Jehovah, not God, not Elohim, not Most High, not Lord, not Yah, not Jah, not Ahaya, not Allah, not Abba. It's Yahawah. And his only begotten Son name in the Hebrew is YAHAWASHI. Not Yahshua, not Yeshua, not Jesus Christos, not Jesus Christ, not Serapis Christos, not Yeshaya, not Yehoshua. It's Yahawashi. So we got to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahawah, BaHa, Yahawashi, BaHa, QADASH. Double honors to the apostles and elder bishops and elders of great millstone who well, who teach well, who are the apostles and elders of all Israel, ready accepted or not. And a sincere salutation to all the arc and pushing this truth and believing this truth toward the four ends of the earth, the entire world working of the hopeful elect. And shalom to the Agua, shedding light to the hopeful elect. And shalom to the Agua who are listening, learning, you few sisters who are listening, learning. Coming at you on the lesson of truth, facts, faith, and edification, on the day of edification, Lord, will this be edifying. So I titled this lesson, God and Jesus is not in your churches, but demons are. And when I'm at the plantation that night, I listened to it's a slow jam station down here in Orlando. And every morning between 5 and 6, they play like this gospel, right? This is plantation Christianity music, which the so-called Christians call gospel, right? And I was gonna do this lesson last Friday, but the Lord put the spirit on me to do something different. So one of the songs came on that said it's a so-called gospel song that said we never would have made it, right? I'm sure you heard it. They said we never would have made it without you, meaning the Messiah, Yahawashi, right? So I thought about this. So I just want to make some points. So in Deuteronomy chapter 4, because still today in 2023, that Jake don't understand, they don't realize that they are worshiping idols, a idol, some idols, whatever. They still don't realize today that they are worshiping idols. So in the curses, the Lord said this was going to happen to us when he scattered us into the land of our captivities. So in Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse 27, it reads, And Yahweh shall scatter you among the nations, and ye shall be left few in number among the heathen, whether the Lord shall lead you. This is verse 28. And there ye shall serve gods, right? The Lord said when let's read again, Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 27. And Yahweh shall scatter you among the nations, and ye shall be left few in number, which is the remnant, and you shall be left few in number among the heathen, whether the Lord shall lead you. And there ye shall serve gods, the work of men's hands, wood and stone, which neither see, nor hear, nor eat, nor smell. And there you shall serve gods, the work of men's hands, wood and stone, which neither see, nor hear, nor eat, nor smell. And these are all the idols of these heathen nations. In Deuteronomy 32, verse 16. So-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians still today don't understand that they are still worshiping idols, man. This is Deuteronomy 32 and 16. It reads, They provoke him to jealousy with strange gods. With abominations provoke they him to anger. They sacrificed unto devils, not to God, to gods whom they knew not, to new gods that came newly up, whom your fathers feared not. Still today, Jake is worshiping false gods. In Psalms See if I can get this. Let's see here. Psalms 103. This song came on and said, "We never would have made it without you." Jake don't understand what's going on, man. Let me see. So right here in Psalms 106. Let me see. I just want to hit this point here. This is Psalm 106 and 32. It reads, "They angered him also at the waters of strife, so that it went ill with Moses for their sakes." That's why the Lord killed Moses and Aaron because they basically were like, "Lord, ain't no way no you gonna make water come out this rock." This said verse 33. Because they provoked his spirit, so that he spake unadvisedly with his lips. They did not destroy the nations concerning whom the Lord commanded them, which goes into also this guy Saul, man. He didn't kill Agag, the king of Edom, right? It say, "But were mingled among the heathen and learned their works, and they served their idols, which were a snare unto them." When you read in Deuteronomy 29 and 16, when we came out of Egypt, the Lord showed us all the heathens and their idols that they worship, man. Psalms, Salakia, Deuteronomy 29 and 16. Again, but Psalm 106 and 35. Verse 34, it reads, let's read 33. "Because they provoked his spirit, so that he spake unadvisedly with his lips. They did not destroy the nations concerning whom the Lord commanded them, but were mingled among the heathen and learned their works. And they served their idols, which were a snare unto them. Yeah, they sacrificed their sons and their daughters unto devils," to Molech, right? Just to name one. "And shed innocent blood, even the blood of their sons and of their daughters," which they doing now with these abortion clinics, "whom they sacrificed unto the idols of Canaan, and the land was polluted with blood." See, and that's why I take when you tell you in Numbers 35 and 33, right? Him that shed the blood, his blood must be shed on the land, right? Which is what the so-called white man did when he came over here and killed the indigenous people of this land, North America, Babylon the Great. "Thus were they defiled with their own works, and went a whoring with their own inventions. Therefore was the wrath of the Lord kindled against his people, insomuch that he abhorred his own inheritance, and he gave them into the hand of the heathen." Tell you that in Judges 2, that the Lord, Judges 2 and 14, that the Lord was Howard Israel, and he sold them to the heathen. "And he gave them into the hand of the heathen, and they that hated them ruled over them." And we are yet this day. Again, for you slow belly talk about God don't push hate. We don't supposed to hate each other. We all brothers in Christ. Psalm 106 and 41. "And he gave them into the hand of the heathen, and they that hated them ruled over them. Their enemies also oppressed them, and they were brought into subjection under their hand." So, what it said in Lamentation 4 and 17? "We have watched for a nation that could not save us. And these nations, they hate you." Now, I want to make them points because Jake still don't understand today that they are worshiping idols. Now, this is Isaiah 5 and 11. The Lord said in Deuteronomy 4 and 27, 28, he was going to send us in captivity, and we was going to serve idols, wood and stone, that neither see, nor hear, nor eat, nor smell. Now this is Isaiah 5 and 1. Woe unto them that rise up early in the morning, that they may follow strong drink, that continue until night till wine inflames them. Now, when I first read this scripture, immediately I thought about going to church on Sunday. First through fourth Sunday, it say Isaiah 5 and 11, woe unto them that rise up early in the morning, that they may follow strong drink. What do they do on easy like Sunday morning? What they do? They get up early. Okay? When I first read this years ago, I thought about going to church on Sunday, especially fourth Sunday, man. Because look, it say that they may follow strong drink that continue until night. What's that talking about? Revival week? Fourth Sunday. You go to church early on Sunday, and you don't get out of there till damn near sundown, man. Okay? Some churches, depending on what church it is, you go to church from 8 to 12, you get out, go home, people change, and they come back for revival, man. Or they come back on fourth Sunday to listen, man. That's Baptist church. Again, it say, woe unto them that rise up early. Now, this also applies to those that go to these theological cemeteries, these theological seminaries, to go get their doctrine from the so-called white man. Woe unto them that rise up early in the morning, that they may follow strong drink. The strong drink is plantation Christianity, that continue until night. That's these ones that go to church fourth Sunday, revival week. These are theological cemeteries. Till wine inflame them, the philosophy of the so-called white man. And this is the point that show you he's talking about church. And the harp and the viol, the tabret and the pipe, and wine or in their feast. What's this wine? Communion, the crackers and the grape juice. Okay? And the harp and the viol, the tabret and the pipe and the wine are in their feast, but they regard not the work of the Lord Yahawah, neither consider the operation of his hands. Now this is Amos, because see right here say the harp and the viol, the tabret and the pipe and the wine are in their feast. That's the choir, man. Okay? The tabret, what they be beating against their hand, right? The piano, the guitar, the choir singing, right? This is Amos, chapter 5 and 23. It is gospel music, man. The Lord didn't establish no gospel music, man. This Amos 5 and 23, it reads, take thou away from me the noise of thy songs, for I will not hear the melody of thy vows. See, the instruments, man. We supposed to be in mourning. Because they tell you in Psalms, let's get this. In Psalms, what is that? 137. On 1. This is Psalm 137 and 1. It reads, by the rivers of Babylon, there we sat down. Yeah, we wept when we remember Zion. Because we know that we are not in our land, man. We hanged our harps upon the willows in the midst thereof. For there were in America Babylon the Great, and where we are scattered at throughout the four corners of the earth, mainly South, Central, and North America. For there they that carried us away captive required of us a song, and they that wasted us require of us mirth, saying, sing one of the songs of Zion. How shall we sing the Lord's song in a strange land? So the Lord said, Amos 5 and 23, because Jake just made up some music. Take thou away from me the noise of thy songs, for I will not hear the melody of thy vows. See, this is just some points I want to make, man. Jake think they doing the right thing, but the Lord said they have a zeal for the Lord in Romans 10, but it's not according to knowledge. Now in Jeremiah 5 and 7, it reads this: Thus saith the Lord, how shall I pardon thee for this? Thy children have forsaken me and sworn by them there are no gods. Jesus Christ is not a god. He's a man that walked the earth whose name was Cesare Borgia. Okay, the son of an Edomite, the Pope Alexander VI, man. Okay, he was the son of an Edomite whose image was painted to be the Messiah, man, in the 1300s. All you gotta do is go look it up. Rodrigo Borgia is his father's name. It said and when you read in what's that, Wisdom of Solomon 13, Wisdom of Solomon 14, it goes into it. It said, thy children have forsaken me and sworn by them there are no gods. When I have fed them to the full, they then committed adultery and assembled themselves by troops in the harlot houses. If you go into a church on first or fourth Sunday, it doesn't matter. If you put up an image of one of the churches from T.D. Jakes, or Creflo Dollar, or Geno Jennings, they look like troops in there, man. Them benches is full, especially on fourth Sunday. In a regular church, on the fourth Sunday, those benches are full, and they look like troops in there, man. Okay, it say they then committed adultery and assembled themselves by troops in the harlots' houses. What do the Lord call churches harlot houses? Because what are they doing? They are committing spiritual adultery, worshiping another God. That's called spiritual adultery, man. You commit adultery against the Heavenly Father, Yahawah. And that's why the Lord sent his only begotten son back, man, to redeem us from these things. So when it's saying they assembled themselves by troops in the harlot houses, meaning the churches be packed. And when you open up the door, they're like troops in there, man. That's what it's talking about. In Acts, this is Acts chapter 7, verse 48. It reads, howbeit the Most High dwelleth not in temples made with hands. So who made these churches? Men's hands made these churches. Howbeit, Acts 7:48, the Most High dwelleth not in temples made with hands. As said the prophet, heaven is my throne, and earth is my footstool. What house will ye build me? And this is in Psalm chapter 50. This precept right here. Heaven is my throne, and earth is my footstool. What house will you build me, saith the Lord? Or what is the place of my rest? Have not my hand made all these things? Ye stiff-necked and uncircumcised in heart and ears, ye do always resist the Holy Spirit, as your fathers did, so do ye. Let me get this in Acts 17. The Lord don't deal in temples made with hands. Our body is the Lord's temple, man. This is Acts 17:24. It reads, God that made the world and all things therein, seeing that he is Lord over heaven and earth, dwelleth not in temples made with hands. Okay? God that made the world and all things therein, seeing that he is Lord over heaven and earth, dwelleth not in temples made with hands. Plain. So the Lord don't dwell in temples made with hands. What does that say about these buildings that they run into every Sunday? What that mean? Let me get this one real quick. In Psalm 50, Let me see. So in Psalms 50, it say right here, let's read verse 7. Hear, O my people, and I will speak, O Israel, and I will testify against thee. I am God, even thy power. I will not reprove thee for thy sacrifices or thy burnt offerings to have been continued before me. I will take no bullocks out of thy house, nor he goats out of thy foes. For every beast of the forest is mine, and the cattle upon 1,000 hills. I know all the fowls of the mountains, and the wild beasts of the field are mine. The Lord say, if I were hungry, I would not tell thee, for the world is mine and the fullness thereof. Will I eat the flesh of bulls or drink the blood of goats? Offer unto power unto God thanksgiving and pay thy vow unto the Most High. What is the vow? Let's read it. The Lord said he made all things. So when they tell you you got to pay your tithes because that's what God won't, be a cheerful giver. The Lord said, if I were hungry, I would not tell thee, for the world is mine and the fullness thereof. And the scriptures tell you, what can you give God in Psalm 49? You can't pay the Lord a vow. You can't pay the Lord a vow. You got to perform it. Let's get it. In Psalms, you can't pay the Lord no vow, man. You got to perform a vow. Psalm 116. You can't pay your way into heaven, man. This is Psalm 116, right? In verse hold on here. Right here. So let me start here in verse. Let's start here in verse 9. It reads, I will walk before Yahawah in the land of the living. I believed, therefore have I spoken. I was greatly afflicted. I said in my haste, all men are liars. What shall I render unto Yahawah for all his benefits towards me? I will take the cup of salvation and call upon the name of the Lord Yahawah. I will pay my vows unto Yahawah now, well, in the presence of all his people. Well, the Lord said, go to the chief place of the city in Proverbs chapter 1. Okay? And in Luke 14, YAHAWASHI said, go to the highways and hedges, to the streets and lanes, and bid the lame, the poor, the maimed, and the halt, and the blind to the marriage, man. You can't sacrifice nothing to the Lord, man. You got to pay your vow as present your body as a living sacrifice, man. Now let's get this. In 1 Corinthians, all that going to church on Saturday or Sunday, working through the week, taking care of your family, going to church. The Lord don't care nothing about that, man. And I keep saying it, we keep saying it over and over and over, man. Our body is the Lord's temple. So we know our body is the Lord's temple. Why is these people still going to these harlot houses, man? Committing spiritual adultery against the Lord, man. Well, it makes sense, but we still gonna throw the question out there. Why? When the scriptures, hey, and I told this dude the Friday, what did he say? This Edomite, he said he know his body is the temple of the Lord. So why the hell people still going to church? Hey, um, Stockholm syndrome, man. In Isaiah 30 and 12, the Lord say, our people trust in oppression, man. Jacob been brainwashed so long, and Apostle House said so much, man. We done been here too long, man. Too long, man. And you tell Jake they don't supposed to go to church. They look at you like you got two heads, man. This 1 Corinthians 3:16, it reads, know ye not that the temple of God, it said, know ye not that ye are the temple of God, and that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you. If any man defile the temple of God, him shall God destroy. For the temple of God is holy, which means to be separate, which I'm going to read in 2 Corinthians 6. For the temple of God is holy. The word holy means to be separate, sanctified. When you ask a slow-bellied Christian, what does holy mean? They don't know. They don't know, man. For the temple of God is holy, which temple ye are. This is 1 Corinthians. That's what 2/3 of our people going to die by simply eating pork, eating shrimp, crab, and lobster, eating clams and oysters, fin, soup, eating calamari, escargot. The Lord gonna kill you because you don't want to repent, man. You want to keep committing adultery. You want to keep defiling your temple. The Lord say obedience is better than sacrifice, man. And that's why I tell you in Corinthians, in Colossians 3, okay, it's in Philippians about being it's in Titus about these children of disobedience, man. But we have call out YAHAWASHI, man. That we have came out of this, man, out of this world. This is 1 Corinthians 6:19. It reads, what? Know ye not that your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit, which is in you, which ye have of God, and ye are not your own? For ye are bought with a price. Therefore, glorify God in your body, not in a damn church, man. In your body, and in your spirit, which are God's. Let's get this. The Lord ain't in them churches, but demons is. A whole bunch of demons is there. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 14. Lord say, be ye holy, man. Holy mean to be separate, set apart. That's what the Lord said is 2 Corinthians 6:14. Be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. For what fellowship have righteousness with righteousness? And that's period, man. And what communion have light with darkness? And what concord have Hamashiach with Belial, which is the Messiah with the devil? And what part have he that believeth with an infidel? What is an infidel? Let's look it up. Let's look it up so we'll know. Because people, one thing about Jake, they don't like to look up words, man. That's one thing that we have found out through the apostles, man. Jake don't like looking up nothing, man. So let's play it first.
Strong's G 571, apistos. Apistos.
So as it said, what have a believer to do with the infidel, which is what? Unbeliever, faithless, okay? Not to be trusted. Unbeliever without trust. Look, it got right here, especially a heathen. And what the Lord said about 2/3 of our people in Matthew 18, if they don't want to hear this word, if they don't want to hear the witnesses, let them be to the heathen man and the publican. So 2/3 of our people are unbelievers, and you shouldn't deal with them. Nah, it tell you in 1 Corinthians. I want to make this point. Let's read this. In 1 Corinthians 10, I'm gonna come back to this. In 1 Corinthians 10, because you might have some unbelievers, which family members or friends that might bid you to some type of feast or picnic, right? Hey, let me read it. Let me just read it. Go ahead and go, man. Don't feel no type of way. When you first come into the truth, you feel some type of way, because I did. I ain't going to nothing, man. But then you grow. So this is 1 Corinthians 10. Just want to make this point. 1 Corinthians 10 and 27, right? It reads, if any of them that believe not bid you to a feast, and ye be disposed to go, whatsoever is set before you, eat, asking no question for conscience sake. But if any man say unto you, this is offered in sacrifice unto idols, eat not for his sake that showed it, and for conscience sake, for the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. As the scripture in Romans tell you, whether you do this or that, we are the Lord's, man. The point is, again, 1 Corinthians 10 and 27, because I know a lot of you don't know this. If any of them that believe not bid you to a feast, and ye be disposed to go, whatsoever is set before you, eat, asking no question for conscience sake. But if any man say unto you, this is offered in sacrifice unto idols, eat not for his sake that showed it, and for conscience sake, for the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. Listen, you had a homeboy, cousins, aunties, uncles, mama, cousins, sister, brothers, bid you somewhere. Go eat, man. You eating because you still gotta eat, man. Forget about what they sacrificing. Okay, what they think. Let's say this. Forget about what they think they are sacrificing to, because they ain't sacrificing to nothing. Because idols is nothing, right? Hey, if they bid you to it, go ahead and eat, man, because you still got to eat at the end of the day. So 2 Corinthians 6 and 14 reads, be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. For what fellowship have righteousness with unrighteousness? And what communion have light with darkness? Because we can be over righteous and be like, nah, I ain't coming. Hey, man, go get you a plate. It doesn't matter what it is. Thanksgiving dinner, Christmas dinner. Go get you a plate, man. Okay? Go get you a plate, man. It say, and what concord have a Mashiach with Belial? Or what part have he that believeth with an infidel, which is a believer and unbeliever? And what agreement have the temple of God with idols? For ye are the temple of the living God, as God hath said, I will dwell in them and walk in them. The churches don't move, they don't walk. See, the word congregation means the people. A church, the church, the word church, it means the people, man. It's not a physical building. And what agreement have the temple of God with idols? For ye are the temple of the living God, as God hath said, I will dwell in them and walk in them, and will be their God, and they shall be my people. Wherefore come out from among them, and be ye separate. The word separate mean to be holy. Let's look it up. Let's look it up real quick.
Strong's G 873. Afarizo. Afarizo.
It says strong definition say to set off by boundary. Okay. Divide, separate. Now listen, here's another word, sever. Sever. Okay. To a point set apart for some purpose. Okay. To mark off from others by boundaries. So the word is sever, right? Sever, divide. Now when you go to, I want to get this real quick. When you go to Leviticus, (20 and 26), it reads this: and ye shall be holy unto me, for I Yahawah am holy, and have severed you from other people, that you should be mine. Let's get this word holy. The Lord said he have severed you, just as it said for the word separate in 2 Corinthians. So let's get this word holy right here, which is the same thing as severed, set apart.
Strong's
QADASH.
H 6918. Kadosh. Kadosh.
QADASH is
Second
the
entry.
word.
Kadosh. Kadosh.
They don't even say Kadosh. These slow belly y'all Israelites say Kodesh. The Ruach Kodesh. These slow belly niggas. It say holy, sacred. Ooh, an angel. Another word for angel. That's cold. Another word for messenger. One of the a saint, which are the Israelite men. That's heavy, man. So let's go back. 2 Corinthians 6 in verse 17, it reads, wherefore come out from among them and be ye separate, saith Yahawah, and touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you. And you will be as, and it say, and I will be, and will be a father unto you, and ye shall be my sons and daughters, saith Yahweh Shemawashah Almighty. Now, a couple more precepts. Where these idols come from? When we talking about Jesus Christos, Jesus Christ, where he come from? Oh, you know what? Before I get that, in 2 Chronicles, right? I wasn't even finna get this, but the Lord just told me to get it. So let's get it. In 2 Chronicles 25, these Edomites, the so-called white man has he has his own God. It's 18 nations the Lord created in the earth. You 12 tribes of Israel, you so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians, we are one nation. Okay? Different tribes, one nation. There are 17 other nations that the Lord created, and they all have their own idols. They all have their own idols, man. Now, this is 2 Chronicles 25 and 14. Now it came to pass, after the Amaziah was come from the slaughter of the Edomites, that he brought the gods of the children of Seir, and what? And set them up to be his gods. What do it mean to set them up? What does it mean to set them up? They were statues, okay? Images. With the chief god of the Edomites, his name is Quaz. Go look him up on Google, okay? Which turned into Serapis Christus, which Ptolemy had in Egypt, okay? And from Egypt, his name turned to Jesus Christ, okay? Jesus Christos, Serapis Christus. Go on YouTube, go on Google and look him up. Now it came to pass after the Amaziah was come from the slaughter of the Edomites, that he brought the gods of the children of Seir and set them up to be his gods, and bowed down. I mean, you bow down to an image himself before them, and burnt incense unto them. Wherefore the anger of Yahweh was kindled against Amaziah, and he sent unto him a prophet, which said unto him, why hast thou sought after the gods of the people, which could not deliver their own people out of thine hand? And what Jake worshiping today? Quaz, Serapis Christus, Jesus Christos, Jesus Christ. That's what you worshiping. A God that have to be set up, right? Now that's why in Isaiah, listen to this. This is Isaiah 45 and 20. Who set this God up for you? The so-called white man did that, man. You can't be no fool all your life, man. This is Isaiah 45 and 20. It reads, this is the Lord talking to the hopeful elect and to the 2/3. This is about separating yourself from 2/3 that's unbelievers. This is Isaiah 45 and 20. Assemble yourselves and come, draw near together, ye that are escaped of the nations. How are we escaped? Because we are spiritually, mentally, and emotionally seeking Yahweh Shemawashah, but 2/3 are seeking the comfort of America, Babylon the Great, its beast system, its ways of life. Again, Isaiah 45 and 20. Assemble yourselves and come, draw near together, ye that are escaped of the nations. They have no knowledge that set up the wood of the graven images, the cross, and what, Lord? And pray unto a God that cannot save. Did the Lord say, I start out with Deuteronomy 4 and 27, verse 28. The Lord say he will scatter us into a land, and we shall serve gods, wood and stone, that neither see, nor hear, nor eat, nor smell. So if they don't eat, or smell, or see or save, or see or hear, how they gonna save you, man? Again, assemble yourselves and come, draw near together, that are escaped of the nations. This is a spiritual escape, mentally and emotionally escape. They have no knowledge that set up the wood of the graven image. Who set this up? The so-called white man. He don't got no knowledge. It tell you in Obadiah 1 and 7, there is none understanding in them. It reads, and pray unto a God that cannot save. Right? When you go to Habakkuk, let's get this. In Habakkuk 2, verse 18, dealing with the same guy that set these images up. It's Habakkuk 2 and 18, it reads, what profiteth the graven image that the maker thereof have graven it? Who is the maker? The so-called white man. Okay, they whitewashed all the images of the Lord and Savior, of the Heavenly Father Yahawah. They whitewashed them. And Yahawashi said, if you seen me, you seen the Father, right? Habakkuk 2 and 8, and we know genes, the son always look like the father. Might have a lot of traits of the mother, but the son look like the father, man. Habakkuk 2 and 18, what profit the graven image that the maker thereof have graven it? The molten image, and what, Lord? And a teacher of lies, plantation Christianity. Didn't it say in Job 13 and 4? They are forgers of lies. They are physicians of no value, right? Oh, let's get this. In Psalm 119, to further add to this point, because who set up plantation Christianity? The so-called white man did that, man. In Psalm 119 and 69, it's cold because it said what? They forged this law on us, man. Well, if you go and look up, I did plenty of lessons on it. The apostles, the other bishops, plenty of lessons. If you go and look this up, or you can go to Google, they beat plantation Christianity in you. They beat Jesus Christ into you, man. And they show you in the movie Roots that they beat the Hebrew out of us, man, because it took them bastards at least 2 generations for us to stop speaking Hebrew, man. When we got those slave ships in Babylon the Great America, we spoke Hebrew, and not one of us was fat neither. There wasn't no obese women and men getting off those slave ships, man. Okay? We came from eating figs, fruit, vegetable, and meat every so often. We didn't eat meat in every meal. There wasn't no meat in breakfast, lunch, and dinner, man. Okay? We didn't get the slave ships obese, man. So, when we got those slave ships and they put you on the plantation, it took them at least 2 generations for us to not speak Hebrew, man. And they showed you in the movie Roots that they beat it. They beat it into us, man. Okay? I did a lesson on this guy. What's the guy name? I forgot this guy's name. I can't think of his name right off. But remember on the wagon, when Kunta was on the wagon and he stopped and the master came and told him to get the horseshoe right on the horse, right? And he told him, listen, your name Toby from now on. Your name Toby. And what he said, you ain't gonna mess up what I got. Because he's a house nigga. Okay? They beat slavery. I mean, they beat you. They beat Jesus Christ into you, man. They beat the Hebrew out of us, man. This is Psalm 119 and 69. The proud have forged a lie against me. They forged this. The same way our Lord watch forging a fight when these Edomites make weapons. They forged their way of life on us, man. Because we were some stubborn. The Lord said it. The Lord said we stiff-necked and harder than impudent, man. Okay? Hard as an adamant stone, man. You know how long it took them bastards to force us to say Jesus Christ, to force us to go to church? They had to force us, man. But everything from the so-called white man came through force, right? Matthew 11:12. Since the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of heaven suffered violence, and the violent took it by force. It said in was Ezekiel 35, they forced the sword on us, man, by the force of the sword, man. This devil forced us, man, but it took at least 2 generations. Think about it. The first book of slaves that got here spoke Hebrew. We all spoke Hebrew. So you can't just get Hebrew out of somebody in a week or 2 weeks. It took a while, man. They had kids. So they had to beat it out of us, man. Because that put fear in everybody else watching somebody get beat, man. Psalms 119 and 69, the proud have forged a lie against me, but I will keep thy precepts with thy whole heart. So again, Habakkuk 2 and 18, it reads, what profiteth the graven image that the maker thereof have graven it? Jesus Christ, the cross, the molded image, and a teacher of lies, that the maker of his work trusteth therein to make dumb idols. Woe unto him that saith to the wood, awake, to the dumb stone, arise. They got this big stone over there in what is it? In Rio, man. Okay? Jesus Christ on top of the mountain over there in Rio, man. Woe unto him that saith to the wood, awake, to the dumb stone, arise. It shall teach. Behold, it is laid over with gold and silver, and there is no breath at all in the midst of it. The Lord said we're going to serve God's right wood and stone that neither see nor hear nor eat nor smell. There's no breath in it. Here's the point. But Yahweh is in his holy temple. Let all the earth keep silent before him. What's the Lord's holy temple? Don't worry, I'll wait. What is the Lord's holy temple? It's you, Jake. You is the Lord's holy temple, man. Habakkuk 2 and 20. But Yahweh is in his holy temple. Let all the earth keep silent before him. We, us, our body is the Lord's holy temple, man. Let me get 2 precepts. This is Jeremiah chapter 10. It's Jeremiah 10 and 10. It reads, but Yahweh is the true power. He is the living power and an everlasting king. At his wrath the earth shall tremble, and the nations shall not be able to abide his indignation. Thus shall ye say unto them, the gods that have not made the heavens and the earth, even they shall perish from the earth and from under these heavens. He hath made the earth by his power. He hath established the world by his wisdom, and have stretched out the heavens by his discretion. This is 1 Corinthians 8 and 5. For though there are called gods, whether in heaven or in earth, as there be gods many and lords many, but to us, who are the us? You so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians, you Hebrew Israelites, but to us there is but one God, the Father, of whom are all things, and we in him, and one Lord, YAHAWASHI, by whom are all things, and we by him. Howbeit, there is not in every man that knowledge. See, there's not in every man that knowledge, for some with conscience of the idol unto this hour eat it as a thing offered unto idols, like I read in 1 Corinthians 10. And their conscience being weak is defiled. Let me get one more here in Psalms. See, this knowledge is not in everybody, man. But the Lord gave you the high calling to understand what's going on. This is Psalms 96. In verse 4 it reads, declare his glory among the heathen, his wonders among all people. For the Lord Yahweh is great and greatly to be praised. He is to be feared above all gods. For all the gods of the nations are idols, but Yahweh made the heavens. And that's what the Lord say. He's going to be a little sanctuary. Let me close with this. In Isaiah, in Ezekiel 11 and 16, the Lord say he's going to be a little sanctuary to the remnant. But everybody else is going to be broken, confounded, and thrown away, man. Destroyed. The Lord say, whoever fall on this stone shall be broken, but whoever this stone shall fall on shall be grounded to powder, man. It is Isaiah 8 and 13. Sanctify Yahweh of hosts himself, and let him be your fear, and let him be your dread. And he shall be for a sanctuary to the remnant, but for a stone of stumbling, and for a rock of offense to both the houses of Israel, the southern and northern kingdom, for a gin and for a snare to the inhabitants of Jerusalem. And many among them shall stumble and fall and be broken and be snared and be taken. Bound the testimony, seal the law among my disciples. So only the hopeful elect. Let me get this. Said I was going to stop. Let me get this. In 1 Peter 2 and 6, it reads this. Wherefore also it is contained in the scriptures, behold, I lay in Zion a chief cornerstone, elect, precious, and he that believe on him should not be confounded. That's why vocab them is losing, man. Because this truth, you can't be confounded with this truth, man. As it tell you in Luke 21 and 15, the Lord gave us a word and a mouth and wisdom that our adversaries can never gainsay nor resist. Unto you, therefore, which believe he is precious, but unto them which be disobedient, the stone which the builders disallowed, the same is made the head of the corner, and a stone of stumbling and a rock of offense, even to them which stumble at the word, being disobedient, whereunto also they were appointed. See, 2/3 are appointed to be disobedient, to stumble at the word of the Lord, man. So, Lord was edifying. Got to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, BaHa YAHAWASHI, BaHa QADASH. Double honors to the apostles and the bishop, and elders, a great millstone who rule well, who teach well. Well, the apostles and elders of all of Israel, whether accepted or not, in the sense of salutation to all doctrine, pushing the truth and believing this truth throughout the four winds of the earth, the entire world, shed light to the hopeful elect. Shalom to the Akwath who are listening and learning. If your sisters are listening and learning. Let me read it, brother precept. This is GMS in his likeness. Brother Dumawathi, subscribe to the brother channel. This is Isaiah 46 and 9. Remember the former things of old, for I am power, and there is none else. I am power, and there is none like me. And that's another in Isaiah that say, there is no God beside me. And what did Esau say in Isaiah 14? I will be like the Most High, right? He also said in Ezekiel 28, the Lord say, "Would thou say you are God when you be destroyed by these heathen nations, by the uncircumcised, which is gonna be them Russians?" Hey, they set up these images, man. This is them with a God complex, okay? But they can't go into the heavens. How can you be a God? You can't even leave Earth, you slow bellied bastard. Hey, so the while for tuning in, may Yahweh Shema shall continue to bless you in your houses. Stay prayed up. Shalom, Wah, Abba.